Okay, so we are live. Hello, everyone. Good evening to all the viewers. Welcome back to Placement Talks episode number 4. Today we have our fourth guest, Aditya Jee, the TnP of ECE department, who is very much famous for his kind and helpful nature. And he's one of the, you can say, the helpful TnP who has almost helped and contributed to each and every drive. Whatever the company is, whether it is related to EC department, core department, he will be ever ready to help you. Hello Aditya, welcome to the episode. I guess
I
he's having some network
network
issues.
issues. With this Pratyusha, I would like to share few things जो मेरा आदित्य जी से related है वो मैं तुमसे जब तक वो आता है तब तक बता देते हैं लोगों को थोड़ा suspense रहेगा. So basically, obviously, he is this TNP of EC department, and EC is always a very like. But after CSC, EC has 100% placement. We all know that, and with a very good number of placement. And he was among one of those person who secured the first offer on day zero, the first person to get placed from our campus. So that was one of the thing. So I met this guy on very first day of NITA during Hindi Saptah. uh, I think he still has a network cliche. If you can reach him out, it would be great.
Yeah, he just informed he's rejoining.
Okay. So till then, let's create a suspense. So met this guy, and he was having a very good CGPA and very पढ़ाकू types वाला जो image होता है. Even Pratyusha has a very good CGPA, but that was something we will discuss with Pratyusha. But Aditya was having a very good CGPA, and he was always active in other co-curricular activities, and always a fun-loving person, always having chit chats and everything with everyone. So yeah,
एंड
Aditya
मेरा
start.
जो सबसे बेस्ट मेमोरी था इसके इन आई थिंक इन कॉलेज वी यूज टू गो फॉर दिस एनुअल स्पोर्ट्स मीट एंड
मेरे को लगता है ये सब जगह पहुंच जाता होगा एनुअल स्पोर्ट्स मीट
बहुत
डिबेट
ज्यादा।
कंपटीशन.
और सबसे कॉमेडी ये होता था ना कि वहां पे फ्री में समोसे चाय सब रखे रहते थे एनुअल स्पोर्ट्स में, और मैं एक इवेंट करके आती हूँ खाती थी, ये बैठ के कुछ इवेंट नहीं खेलेगा, बस देखेगा कि कौन कितना खा रहा है.
आई वॉज पार्ट ऑफ एवरीथिंग. भले मैं उसमें पार्टिसिपेट कर रहा हूँ नहीं कर रहा हूँ, बट आई विल बी देयर. और करेक्शन तो चाय समोसा खाती नहीं थी, बच्चों से चुरा के खाती थी. पनवा सर की बेटी का चुरा के खाया था, आई रिमेम्बर.
ये सब चीजों के लिए वो फेमस है.
बट आई मस्ट से आदित्य हैज अ वेरी गुड सीजीपीए. कितना सीजीपीए है? I think
अब तो
it's
गिर गया
almost
है.
9.5 plus, and you are one of the first person to secure offer in NITA. That वही मैं बोल रही थी सबको. So इसी के साथ बताओ, how was your NITA journey till now? What has been ups and down for you?
Yeah, so as everyone else, I joined NIT in 2018. At that moment, in that year, the placements were not so good in NIT Agartala. So when we all joined, our seniors used to tell us that the best you can do is Samsung and Oracle, and just go for it, and that's all you're gonna get. Chill, and when you get in third year, just do a bit of coding. Means I don't think we had the proper guidance when we joined in the first year, and that is the year which is the budding year for all the students. The main time when you can get the right guidance and take the right path, make the correct decisions. So we were naive. I enjoyed every part of all the activities that I got. Like in school, I was very engaged in co-curricular activities. So I carried that in the college as well. I participated in almost everything. Like even if I'm not participating, I am a part of the organizing team or doing something in it. I didn't like to be in a hostel room sitting and wasting my day idly. So I used to play table tennis till 2:30 in the night in the MTech hostel building. So first year went in fun. maybe before the exams, before 10 days of the exams, I used to study, and that was all the study I did in the first year. From the
He
second year
scored a
onwards,
GPA of 9.5 just by studying one night before.
Right.
okay, it was, yeah, 9.5 in second semester actually. In the third semester, the semester started well, and then we realized that no, we have to get an internship somewhere somehow. So applied for so many internships, but didn't get one. I got one in IIT Gandhinagar in SRIP program, the Summer Research Institute program, but it was cancelled due to COVID, and then everything was closed in that year. So that was not the best time. My resume was empty. I was lacking skills. I knew basic DSA, but I need to skill up. So during the lockdown, I focused on my preparation, and I didn't get to see any of my friends. So the college journey is till second year only. After that, it's home journey. Online classes, wake up, join the classes, and sleep again. That's all.
Yeah. As you said, you were a part of everything, even though you participated or not. So the next question is related to this. You have managed very nicely being a TNP, the students of your department, as well as various companies. Also, you were into various kind of co-curricular activities additional to your academics, being scoring 9.5 CGPA in second sem, and now getting placement in one of the, I think, day zero, day one company. So
Day zero, first day company.
and I still have his screenshot how he was appearing this interview with his shorts and upper part pura formal with this setup of
And that interview was so long. He was sitting, I think, from morning till evening तक चला था वो interview,
Yeah.
ये रात तक. So it was a
Yeah.
hectic interview.
so we want to know how much it is important to be into co-curricular activities along with academics.
So, academics is a part of college. It is not everything about college, or even in school, you can say. But in the context of the college, like co-curricular is a very important part. Either you can be in a cultural team, you can join sports, and you can do whatever. But you have to do something else in your college life, because that's where you get to meet most of the people. You are not surrounded by two or three people. You get to interact with different type of minds. You get to share knowledge with them and gather something that they have to offer. Like we discussed earlier, right? In debate competition, I met Nalini. In athletics ground, in the sports day ground, I met Pratyusha. So that's how you meet new people. You have the best experience. You have the memories that you create in the college days. नहीं तो बच्चे पूछेंगे पापा कॉलेज में क्या किया, तो फिर क्या बताएंगे, क्लास करते थे, आ जाते थे. That is not something that I would like. But and yeah, another thing that is that the co-curricular activities gives you is the interpersonal skills, the communication skills. Like in our college, there is no one concentrated population of students from any one part of the country. Everyone is from different people. Like there are students from Kashmir till Andaman. So when you meet everyone, you connect with everyone, you get to know them about them. You become a bit more confident in interacting with them. So it opens you up for the future obstacles that are gonna come in your life, and prepare you for that as well.
Okay, Aditya. So as Aditya mentioned, we met in debate competition, and I still remember vividly what we were discussing also, because we were sitting in front of audience and we were on stage, and he was like, "तेरे जूते अच्छे हैं." तो मैं बोली, इसको stage पे जूते क्यों दिख रहे हैं? So this is the way we interact. This is the way we become friendly, because he was living at that time from in northeast, and I was from east part of India, Jharkhand. So this was the gap, a gap of 1500 kilometers, but we were so friendly, and till now also we have a very friendly connections. So with this, I would like to ask you that what is your suggestion to the first year students who are not able to get the perfect platform, perfect opportunity right now in the pandemic? So according to you, what are the things they should do, or they should interact, or they should be introvert? Because many of them are like, I'm introvert, I can't do anything. So what is your suggestion to them?
Yeah, so when the fresher comes to the college, the freshers come to the college, the seniors try to break the shell and, bring out the real you. They try to interact with you and have many events where you can showcase what you have, network with people of the college and from other colleges if they are coming. So that is something the first year students and the second year students also are missing currently. And my suggestion to them would be that talk with people. Like even on WhatsApp, if you get a number, just ping them up, talk from where they are, what they are doing. It will give you a sense of connectivity. Like you're not in the corner. You're not sitting alone. You are part of it. So when you come to the college, you will have some contacts in the college, and because being in home, and actually we know each other from before the pandemic, so we have the contacts of each other and we are like friends, but they don't even know each other, they don't have a single connection in the college. So maybe they can connect with the seniors, they can ask for their guidance, what they should do and what is the right path to take. There are many clubs that have come up this year and they are guiding the first year and second year students. So, being a active part of the programs that are somehow being arranged in this pandemic, it could be a really nice suggestion for the fresher. It will give them a better perspective of what is happening in the college.
ओके, एक क्वेश्चन है प्रत्युषा, रुकना। दिशा का एक क्वेश्चन है, भैया इतने पैसों का क्या करोगे?
पहले तो ये बताओ कि पैकेज कितनी है आपकी, कंपनी बताओ, फिर बताओ कि क्या करोगे।
हाँ, नहीं नहीं, कंपनी तो
Yeah.
छोड़ो, पैकेज बता दो। और डे जीरो पे आई थी, तो भैया इतने पैसों का क्या करोगे?
Yes, so the company that I got placed in, it was the first company that came like in July 16th when the semesters even were not started. And it was, I think, the only company in the beginning which completed its drive in 2 days, like it used to happen in the old fashioned way. Like if you are in college, the drives are supposed to be completed in 2 days only. First day test and second day the interviews. So it was really
But now it
hectic.
is 1 month.
Yeah.
2 months.
Not just 1 month, more than 1 month. You have handled the companies. You two are experts for that. The running companies. So it was very hectic. I was not sure what I want to do. Even I do I want this company because the name of the company is not that big. Although I understood the work, but to explain that work to someone else, it is a bit of a challenge. And I thought better opportunities might come, but that is a calculated risk you have to take whether you want to give your 100% in this and move to next. But there was not much time to like think about it. The first day there was test, and on the second day the interview started at the 9 a.m. and it went till 9 p.m. 5 or 6 interviews were there back to back, all of 1 and 1.5 hours. So yeah, that was the interview experience. और पैसों का देखते हैं क्या करेंगे.
शुभंकर आंसर दे रहा है तुम्हारे बिहाफ पे। सो
हाँ.
कमिंग टू द नेक्स्ट पार्ट, as you said, you have to go through all these interviews, back to back 5 6 interviews, so you didn't even get any amount of time for the preparations in between. We
No.
want to know what was your preparation strategy, what are the resources from where you got some knowledge, technical knowledge, and also about your internships.
Yes. So uh, for the placement purposes, everyone might have already shared that, but I am gonna repeat it. The most important part is the DSA, the data structure and algorithm. In any IT companies, that is common. No matter whether they are offering you 6 lakhs or they are offering you 20 lakhs, they are going to ask data structure questions, programming fundamental questions. Apart from that, they will be asking questions from the computer science subjects because that's their niche domain. So they are going to focus on that. And at the same time, since you have not worked, you are a fresher, you have not worked in any company, you don't have any experience. So they want to see a project, a development project that you have done, because that shows you the implementation of skill or the implementation of various frameworks that you have done on yourself, And at the same time, if the project is a group project, so using that they try to like they try to judge whether you are a team working person, whether you have the leadership skills or not. So if you have projects, you have hackathons that involve team, whether you were a leader, you were a team member, so these kind of things they are focusing on. But the most important thing comes back down to the coding aspect. If you are not good in coding, that all things like they get inside the shadow and they don't get the proper light. So my preparation involved the DSA. I was not into competitive programming because earlier that was not a culture in our college. The juniors have started recently, and I appreciate it. But back then we were doing data structures, and the topics of the data structure. You can follow any coursework. There are free courses on YouTube. You can refer to courses on Geeks for Geeks, or reach out to your seniors. We have several free resources that we can share. We have already shared with the third year students. They are preparing on it. There are mentorship programs. Join them and learn through them. So that's the upskill that you need to have. Regarding the internship, as I told you, my summer research internship was cancelled due to mm, COVID. But in the third year, I managed to secure two internships, one via on campus and one via off campus. So the on campus one was Vipro, and the off campus one was the Formizy company. Farm is a startup that you all might have heard of. So I preferred the pharmacy because the stipend was more and the quality of work was better. And in a startup culture, you are able to learn more. And internship is a stage where you don't want to be settled down. You want to learn and broaden your skill set. And I would tell you that my internship in pharmacy was very helpful in letting me secure the job in my current company because the tech stack was similar. So they knew that at least for 2 or 3 months I had the experience in those tech stacks. So my internship was in that, and after that internship I didn't get much time because like I was doing the internship and while I was also the placement coordinator, I got placed. So it was a triple load at the same time. So you cannot rely to get the preparation and get the experience at the last moment. You have to prepare beforehand and you have to get the experience beforehand. Like I applied in all the companies and got rejected by all the companies. What the people see that I got my offer on the very first day, day zero, the first company. What they don't know is I got rejection from more than 17 companies. So that is the groundwork that you do to get the day zero placement. You cannot walk into your first company and expect that I will crack it. And that never happens. So be prepared for failures.
Okay, Aditya. So, according to you, is spontaneity and beforehand work is very important, as
Yeah.
you mentioned in your answers. So, I want to know many people have this question like which YouTube channel they should refer for DSA because there are many. So, if you can name some of the YouTube channels for them, it will be highly grateful for them to go through them.
Yeah. So YouTube channels. I am not sure about the YouTube channels, but for each topic, there are different YouTubers who are best at that. And you can just simply type best DSA code, take the one which has the most views. The PEP coding one has a DSA course that is good. Uh, Abdul, I'm not sure the
Abdul
name, but
Bari. Abdul
yeah,
Bari. You are
yeah,
right.
that is very good for graphs, and for DP, this Aditya something. I'm not remembering the name, but his playlist is very good for DP.
So everyone, any junior who is here, you can contact Aditya directly for the courses and everything. He will help you out.
Yeah,
So
yeah, we have a
moving
mega
ahead for
folder
the
with
show.
all the free resources, so don't worry
Yeah.
about that. You
Such-
want to learn, we have the resources that we can give.
Okay, Aditya, we have one question. If we one student Shivam is asking if we stuck in the sense we don't know the answer, like in an interview during an HR round, what should we do at that time?
So for the technical and in HR, the answers will vary. Like in a technical interview, if you are stuck at a question and you don't have any sort of idea about that, remaining silent is the worst thing that you can do in an interview. You can take a deep breath and just approach the question with what you know. Like if you know the question is related to sorting, you can start with sorting itself. What is sorting and what is the complexity that you can achieve, what you are thinking, you can move in that direction. And more often than not, the interviewers are very supportive. Like not always, but sometimes they are supportive, and if you are going in the right direction, they will try to get the right answer from you. So in a technical round, you can start with whatever you know if you are not getting any idea. But in HR round, if you are getting stuck on a question, just let the question pass. My suggestion will be that, because HR questions are unlimited. HR can ask questions, and if you are stuck in a question, just answer it politely, whatever you can, and try not to waste more time on that question. Because if you have half an hour and if you are stuck on a question and not answering till 10 minutes, that is a very bad impression on the HR that you can have. So
I think
just
HR
answer it and go
questions
for it.
are very subjective in nature. Nobody
Yeah.
can define actually what
Yeah.
HR questions will be. So it
And there are no
totally
right
depends.
and wrong answer for that.
Yeah, yeah. So one can be like stories banao. We mostly suggest stories banao. For that we do skill enhancement,
Yeah,
personality
like
skill
आदित्य
enhancement.
आदित्य तिवारी हर इंटरव्यू से पहले ये देता था कि ट्राई टू क्रिएट अ स्टोरी और नरेट अ स्टोरी कनेक्टिंग टू द जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन और द एम और विजन ऑफ द कंपनी.
Yeah,
Somehow you
company's
follow.
mission and vision.
Yeah, and so a trick that you can follow is if the HR is asking where did you show your leadership skill, even if you were somewhere a part of a team, not the leader, you can say that I am the leader. The HR is not going to
Yeah,
check whether you were or not. And just
a
tell whatever the
subjective
leader
one.
of your group did. Just tell whatever the leader of your group did, and that can be your experience. Tell the story of someone else.
Smart play.
Yeah. And
So
that is the out of the box thinking that you have to do. The presence of mind is very important in an interview.
So, with this, the next question I would like to ask, in your initial days of NIT Agartala or college, have you ever thought of becoming IC, TnP, or placement cell? Because we all think of placement, but not of placement cell. So, I want to ask about it.
Yes, so first of all, IC and TNP when you are in college requires a lot of fan following. Like you have to have the most best of the skills, the best communication skills, and at the same time you must have friends. You must have people who trust you with their placement. Like they want the placement and they should trust you that you are the person they can trust and they will get placed if they trust you. So earlier, I was not sure that if I am that responsible or not because I was a very fun-loving person, easygoing person. So a position of that much responsibility was I was not sure that I was even gonna get. I did not try for IC in the third year. Some people told me to, but I thought that yeah, a lot of good students are applying for it. They will be the best IC the college can have. But in final year, everyone was asking me, and even I thought that I should give it a go. I have worked on my skills. I am sure that I can secure a placement for myself, but it's time that I do something for my batchmates, for my friends who think that I can bring the best opportunities for them. So it was in the third year only that I thought, and there were people who were motivating me, like my classmates Mansi, Subhankar, and Somdati. So they suggested that I can do it. That was the vote of confidence that I needed, and hence I participated in it.
Okay, so as you said, you were mainly motivated and pushed by your friends. They believed in you to become a placement coordinator. You will do justice to the position. So I want to know how was your journey being a placement coordinator, being the voice of students' fraternity. We have seen Aditya many times putting forward his points very strongly, whether he has majority on his side or minority, but he's very stick to his principles and always unbiased. So we want to
And
know.
very particular about the benefit of students, like
Yes.
no, benefit of college and benefit of students. So tell us about this, like how you manage this.
Yeah, so any position of responsibility comes with responsibilities, as the name suggests. So at that position, you cannot think of one person or someone in particular. You have to think the whole picture. And being from the student side, as the part of the CCD comprises of both faculties and the students, representing the student gives you the responsibility to voice the opinion of the students who are not present there. And a certain topic can have multiple views. Everything can be correct, but your job as a student representative is to put forward the best interest of the students. uh, for example, no, I don't want to get into an example. Yeah, so the journey was uh, very bumpy. It was smooth for a bit, and then there were some issues. Like last week, also we had issues. This week only. So that's how the TNP cell moves. There are arguments, there are misunderstandings, and you have to hear something. And being the student representative, the students have the pressure on you that you do what is right for them, and hence I never backed out of any argument. If I think something is right, I was ready to give my 100% for that and stick to what I wanted and try my best to get the things done. And that persuasive skills is very important in a TNP. Like you cannot be a simple worker, like you are told you have to do this and okay sir, I am going to do this. You have to have your own opinion, and that opinion should not be for your benefit or a single person's benefit. It should be for the institute, for the student fraternity, and even for the juniors, because what placement policies that are being set this year will be the precedent when their time will come. So if we set up an example which is not not very helpful for their placement batches, so that should be discouraged, and it is our responsibility to voice our opinion for that. And that was the motive I was following.
So you have a quite a good experience, a very knowledgeable one, so the aspiring TNPs can have a broad picture what they are going into. So with this, I want to ask you the next question. As a TNP, you were always in a responsible position, very correct. But what you think, because you have seen many interviews also, apart from yours, the other companies' interviews, papers. So what do you think students are actually lacking in their preparation? As a TNP, what suggestion you will give?
Yeah, so in our batch, the preparation was very poor. Like there are some things that you can do within fortnight, within 14 days, and there are things that need to have a consistent effort towards it. So I always say that programming and learning the technical skills, it is like maths. You can learn the formula, but when you are asked to use those formula and solve a question, that takes practice. And practice cannot be done in a month time. It will take at least 6 months, 1 year. The more you give, the better. And all the efforts that you have given, every hour that you have given, it all gets compounded to your last moment. And in that final moment, the 1 hour is a reflection of your preparation for over the past 1 or 2 years that you have given. So you can learn the computer science subjects like operating system, you can study in 2 days. You can learn the MySQL in 2 3 days. But to master the programming and DSA, you need time. And most of the people in our college, they wake up from their sleep in the final year when they see that okay, the placements are here, the companies are coming. Now let's wake up and start preparing. And that's the worst thing that you can do. When you start there, it will take good 4 to 5 or 6 months for even become the bare minimum for placements. Until that time, the good companies are gone. You have to settle for less. And if you are not doing anything, then from being from circuital branches, you are jumping towards analytics just to get a job. You are not interested in analytics or anything. You are just you have no technical skills, so you are focusing on the analytical companies. So if from a circuital branch when you are getting more than 200, 300 companies as opportunities, and you are still going for the analytics company that the other branches, I can say, focus on, so you are doing an injustice not to yourself only, but to your friends also. because you are wasting your potential, you are wasting your opportunities, and then you are taking up their opportunity. So the basic thing for a placement is preparation, the technical skill, and that is lacking. That is the first thing that the students lack. After that, the communication skills, like some day scholars stay in a closed circle of the day scholars only. They are communicating in Bengali only. So in interview, when you are talking to a new person from some other state or in some other language in English, the communication skill lacks, and even that goes for the hostelers. And many of us are from Hindi medium or Bengali medium. So if you are not working on that consistently, then communication skill become a barrier. So first get your preparation all done, communication skills, and after you get to the interview, you will get the interview experience. Like there are million of other things that can go wrong, and how to correct that, that is going to come from interviews, experiences. And if you are saving your preparation for the interviews, then I'm not sure what you are going with.
So
Yeah.
basically, you mean to say that the students you should utilize their opportunities. They should be very
Yeah.
much careful about it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Pratyusha.
Yeah. So taking your experience forward, we would like to know, like a student was having a question, will it be better to go for which one, a startup or a corporate company during internship? And also what he need to choose or give preference, a startup or a normal corporate company for a full-time job?
Okay, so there are various segments of startups and there are various segments of corporate companies as well.
Hmm.
So there are all apples and oranges. Like there are startups, an individual has opened up. There are three people working on that startup. That is a very small scale startup. And then there are startups who are having valuation of almost 7-8 billion dollars. Like they can give you the best experience. A big scale startup, according to me, if you are going for an experience and sudden growth, like very steep growth path, in the corporate side there are different types of companies in MNCs also. Like there are service based companies, TCS, Cognizant, Wipro, Accenture. These are service based companies, and then there are product based companies. Sorry, product based companies are Amazon, Google, all those. These can be considered as product based companies. So in service based companies, they are providing a software solution to a client, and you are fixed or you are confined to that service that they are giving, and you are working on that. On the other hand, in the product based company, you get to work on the product that is being used by hundreds of users, million of users worldwide, and that gives you better exposure. So while going for the corporate companies, I will suggest you to target for the product based companies. And if you are interested in startups, the market leading technologies, because they don't invent their technologies. If you go to Google, they have their own technology which you have to learn and then work on that only. No other company is using that. But in startup, they don't have time to create their own company, their own technology. So they are using the market standard, and thus there is steep growth. So go for big startups or product based corporates. In both segment, I have suggested.
Like according to you, what do you think, where there is a huge dynamics involved, either in startups or a big corporate companies, as you said, where will you find very much dynamics?
Yeah. So I'm not the expert, but I will give you my personal opinion. When I joined my internship in pharmacy, my mentor or my engineering manager was from IIT Bombay. He had worked in Microsoft. He worked on Mintra for 6 years, and he had, I mean, 18 years of experience. And I will reiterate why he told me. He told me that in the start of your career, you should join a startup, because startup gives you growth and startup has flexibility. Like in big tech companies, you are stuck in a team. If you want to change your work or you want to get some more exposure on different technologies, you have to follow several formal guidelines. Like you have to apply to the HR, then talk to your manager, then his manager, then your case will be heard. And if you are found good enough, they can transfer you in that division and you can work on different technology. But in a startup, you have a little bit of informality. Like if I approached my manager today that I want to work on the front end, I am exploring the front end. I want to work on the front end. It is very much easier in a startup to move one from one team to the other team because it's a small team and everyone is an asset there. So they are more valued in a small startup because there are, like in my company there are 80 people. Everybody knows everyone by name.
Okay.
So I can even approach my head of India operations, like he's the owner of India operations, and I have talked to him 3 times already. I can tell him that I want to switch my team, and he will be very pleased. And if there are vacancy, he will move me. So the growth opportunity, the various dynamical work culture, that is something that a startup offers.
So, what I got from your answer, basically, startups gives you the flexibility because they haven't built any kind of particular system or environment, and even it gives you the knowledge about the business also, like how business run, how versatility of this market changes. So
Yeah.
there is a question from, I guess he is a junior, so he is asking like, Bhaiya, how to use the LinkedIn, like how LinkedIn can benefit you.
So, not telling you as a TNP point of view, like a simple student, you can use to make yourself a brand that the companies will try to hire or will die to hire, will approach from front to hire. That takes effort, but that is not something that the students have not achieved. We have some examples from our college only. So for that, you have to be active on LinkedIn. You have to reach to the right people, not just influencers or sort of people like that. You have to reach out to people. You have to understand that what they are doing, take a niche domain, and work on that domain. Because if you are lacking in your technical skills, nothing else matters. So work on your technical skills and then be active on LinkedIn, network with the right people, be in contact, constant touch with each of them, and share posts regarding that. Using that, you can make yourself in a brand, a product that the companies will try to hire. And if you have the connections with the right people, you can get the referrals if there are openings in their company. Like I can tell you my examples. I have applied on in Google, so I have got referral from engineers in Google. I have got a referral from engineers in Microsoft. I have got referrals in engineers from Goldman Sachs. So when there is an option of referral, it is a very good platform to network with the right people because you cannot have their email address or phone number to ring them up, but you will have a chat where you can ping them, and if they see your chat they will be happy to refer you.
Okay. So I think Aditya, this is one of the, I think among all our last episodes, this episode we have taken around 30 plus minutes talking about preparations, resources, experiences, rejections, and then point of views as well for choosing a company, either startup, corporate life. Now we are moving into a formal part. You have been handling and being with us throughout, I think, almost all companies. So you are also aware of the HR behaviors and what kind of relations we share. Like last episode, we were having Subhankar as the TNP having the most number of female HR. So similarly, we want to know any incident where you were annoyed by some HR or any unique experience you have faced while being with an HR.
Yeah. So I'll share about the company that I will not reveal the name of. In that company, 67 students were appearing for the test. I got the test scheduled on some day. It got overlapped with some other test. Then I pinged the HR that please reschedule it. After heated conversation that we already booked the date and so and so, she finally agreed to take the test in the day at the 12 p.m. time slot. In that test, 67 students appeared and almost 60 were disqualified due to plagiarism. Like they copied the same code. So I
I
shouldn't say
remember.
this, but our students are so lame that even if they get a solution from internet or somewhere, they are exactly pasting the same code, and this is a bad impression for the college. And the
One
HR
thing,
took,
Aditya, I like to mention, we are not appreciating this behavior, like copying the code on a public platform. Definitely learn and write the code.
yeah,
Exactly.
I'm just saying my experience. Nobody should copy a code. It should come from you. And when the offline placements are there, nobody will be there to help you. So
Exactly.
60 of the students wrote the same code, like point to point same code, and the first plagiarism detector detected their code, and the HR was so furious that I agreed to your time slot, I agreed to everything, and this is happening under your nose. And in your college, what sort of national institute are you? Your institute of national importance, and 90% of your students are copying the code from internet. So she called the chairman sir also, I think. Chairman sir was telling me what is plagiarism. So I explained him that this is plagiarism and the question was from internet. So everyone might have written the same code from the internet. He also told me then tell the HR why did she give the question from the internet. And that is a point, that is the situation of the TNPs. We are the point of pressure from all the sides, like from the students,
Becoming sandwich.
from the CCD high command, and from the HRs. If something goes south, we hear from all of them, and there you have to manage everyone. So that was the one of my worst experiences, because then she selected only one candidate. She interviewed two candidates. She selected one candidate, and yeah, that was very bad incident that happened, and it might have happened to all of you. Like that is not something that I have experienced alone.
So I must say, from starting from first interview to fourth interview, everyone has a very unique experience with HR. Like every stories are so unique and so different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Aditya was in one of the companies which we people were handling, and I was a point of contact. I won't reveal again the company name. And she has taken the HR has taken almost 1.5 month, and results were not getting published. Interviews were not scheduled, and आदित्य will be यार आज उसको याद दिला दे एक बार. HR वो है कि हम मैनेजमेंट यहाँ पे सीख रहे हैं बीटेक करके. So, Aditya, if what will you try to speak or want to speak for these kind of things where HR delays the interviews? How it is really affecting us, especially the TNPs and the
Yeah.
students?
So, as I said, coordinators are point of pressure for everyone. So, when such things happen, first of all, the CCD pressurizes you why your drive is not getting over. Second of all, the students are very stressed, and that is very natural. If you have cleared all the rounds, your HR round is pending, and then that is taking 1.5 months just for one HR round. Then the students are obviously very stressed. So if they are stressed, you are definitely going to be stressed, because constant phone calls, as WhatsApp messages are going to flow in. And when you try to contact the HR, sometimes she doesn't even pick the call. There is no response from their side, and that is a very stressful condition. And that is one of the challenges that we faced this year. And the whole student placement coordinator, all the coordinators have faced this. And the best thing that we can do is keep pushing it, keep grinding behind it, keep the constant effort, like you did. Like you were very persuasive, where you were constantly in touch, and finally after 1.5 months after that, the drive got over, and that was a very satisfactory moment, and the students also were very satisfied. They were calling and thanking. So that is the fruit that you get after so much of hard work and efforts.
I
Actually,
think
normally
I got
students.
I think I got most of the companies which took one month, 1.5 month, and every time every coordinator used to text me, students used to text me, यार result कब आएगा? एक drive तो 2021 से 2022 तक चला है.
हाँ, and normally students का क्या है कि students
And that's
hardly
even still
understand.
happening. Like
Yeah, that
those,
is still
those still happening.
एक दो का result अभी भी pending है.
Yes.
नहीं, नॉर्मली स्टूडेंट्स क्या समझते हैं कि वी डोंट ट्राई टू कन्विंस द एचआर टू गिव अस अ शेड्यूल, वी डोंट पुट मच एफर्ट्स फॉर देम. नॉर्मली स्टूडेंट्स टेक अस इन दैट वे,
हाँ,
मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग वे. एंड आई गेस आदित्य ऐसा था कि जिसका ड्राइव बहुत जल्दी खत्म हो जाता था, आदित्य जी एंड आदित्य तिवारी दोनों का. आदित्य तिवारी हैज द रिकॉर्ड ऑफ कंप्लीटिंग ड्राइव्स इन वन सिंगल डे ऑल्सो. एंड
Hmm.
नलिनी का तो है कि सालों सालों तक चलता रहेगा. शुभंकर का है कि एचआर नहीं मान रहा है जेएनएफ भरने में के लिए. और मेरा होता था कि कोई भी चीज नहीं हो रहा आके रो दो ग्रुप में कि हो नहीं रहा
Hmm.
है, ये हो रहा है, वो हो रहा है. तो दिस काइंड ऑफ एक्सपीरियंसेस वी हैव शेयर्ड.
आई थिंक मैं
The worst
जब
part
पास
is जब सब,
या
yeah, Nalini.
आई थिंक जब मैं पास आउट हो जाऊंगी, जब मैं जॉब ज्वाइन कर लूंगी, तब भी मेरे पास कॉल आएगा, यार इसका ड्राइव अभी तक खत्म नहीं हुआ. दिस विल हैपन फॉर श्योर.
The worst part is of being a TNP is the time when someone says that तुम तो अपने लिए कर रहे हो, you are doing this for yourself, या something like the chairman will call you up and tell you that you are not doing your job properly. People are still unplaced. Almost 150 and 200 companies have come for ECE. Why there are still 10 people left of for getting placed? And how can we reply? Like the best we can do is bring companies, coordinate the drives. But if the students are not able to crack the companies, how is it our fault? So that type of comments are discouraging. And the second thing, the students sometimes say TNP काम ही क्या करते हैं? इंटरव्यू तो कंपनी स्केड्यूल कर देती है, हम इंटरव्यू दे देते हैं, रिजल्ट आ जाता है, ऑफर लेटर भी हमारे पास आ जाता है, कोऑर्डिनेटर्स खरीद कर ही क्या
I
रहे हैं.
know, I know we were being called as fudgy TNPs, pseudo
Hmm.
TNPs, these things. So I really enjoy this part, but ठीक है, we know the actual pressure.
I will quote the company Deloitte. In single day 117 students were having interview
Yeah.
from morning till night. On the same day I had my company MDocs whose drive was going on, and there were Nagaro interviews in the morning as well. So on one day 150 students were having interviews.
Interview.
एंड सबसे फनी पार्ट ये होता था कि एक व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप एचआर के साथ, एक व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप स्टूडेंट्स के साथ. सो ईच कंपनी का दो ग्रुप, एंड हम लोग आई थिंक वन डे पे 3-4 कंपनीज हैंडल किए थे.
Yeah,
तो
किसी
yeah,
जगह
that is the
हमसे
real
गलती
thing.
भी हुआ था.
तो
आई वांट टू नो
150
आदित्य.
स्टूडेंट्स का सेम डे पे इंटरव्यू, एंड देयर वर ओवरलैपिंग स्टूडेंट्स, लाइक तीनों कंपनी में एक स्टूडेंट का है, उसका इंटरव्यू यहाँ मिस हो रहा है, उसका रिस्केड्यूल करवा रहे हैं. नलिनी वाज इन डिलॉइट, सो वी हैव टू गिव एक्सक्यूजेस, वो हॉस्पिटल में है, उसका ये हो गया, उसका वो हो गया. लाइक किसी का रिजल्ट 12 बजे आ गया और 3 बजे इंटरव्यू स्केड्यूल हुआ, तो हमको बोलना पड़ता है कि उसका हटा दो नाम. So that the sort of pressure that you have to take. And at the end of the day, 43 students selected in Deloitte, 14
Yeah.
students selected in AmDocs, and Nagara took 5-6 students. So
So
in a
that
single
is
day,
the moment of peace to us.
yeah. And the very next day in that Deloitte group, only someone texted, "काम ही क्या करना है TNP? तुम्हारा काम ही क्या है?" So
Same with this other company GS. That what in that group also students said, काम क्या करे, टीएनपी लेटर तो मिल गया, इंटरव्यूज तो हमने क्रैक किए, लेकिन ये नहीं देखेगा कि शेड्यूल किए तभी क्रैक किए.
Even after Vedanta, I still remember that जब रिजल्ट आया, वेदांता has given a very good result, but उसके बाद भी same criticism, टीएनपी क्या किए, ये तो खुद ही शेड्यूल हो गया, खुद ही हो गया. People made memes on it. मतलब it was hilarious.
and if it is getting scheduled on time, then the company did it. And if it is not getting scheduled on time, then TNP तुम कर क्या रहे हो?
सच.
They don't understand that इंटरव्यू हमको नहीं लेना है, इंटरव्यू लेने वाले की फ्री टाइम पे ही इंटरव्यू हो सकता है. So that
यहाँ
is
पे
the
Aditya Tiwari is giving his comments. One of the best intellectuals in CCD. I really like the way he keeps his points.
इंटेलेक्चुअल तो स्टार्टिंग में ही हमने बता दिया भाई, इंटेलेक्चुअल तो है बंदा, 2:30 बजे तक टेबल टेनिस खेल रहा है, बट एवरीथिंग अप टू मार्क.
वही
दैट इज समथिंग अप्रिशिएटेबल.
कॉलेज में ऐसे घूमते हुए लग रहा था कि क्या करेगा, प्लेसमेंट होगा भी इसका, इतने चीजों में है, पढ़ाई कब करेगा, ये कब करेगा. जब देखो अमूल पार्लर में देखेगा बैठे रहते हैं, और फिर चाय कॉफी, और वो देखेगा मैं अगर कहीं से दिख गई कॉफी चाय किसी के साथ, इसका शुरू हो जाएगा मुफ्त में पी रही है.
लोग
हाँ।
रोज अलग अलग लोगों के साथ आती थी, एक एक दिन ठगती थी सबको।
And one more thing, Aditya has a very good height. I think 6 के अराउंड 661 के अराउंड. उसको दुनिया का हर एक इंसान छोटा लगता है, हर एक इंसान.
नलिनी उसके साथ।
उसको हर कोई छोटा लगता है. अरे नॉट ओनली मी, ही विल से टू मी, मानसी, एवरीवन, इवन वो तुझे भी बोल देगा, उसके सामने सब छोटा है.
वो हमेशा इसका ये चीज चलता है। तो आदित्य, एक और चीज मुझे पूछना है कि इन आर सीसीडी वी हैव फ्यू पीपल लाइक जिन मतलब हम लोग उनके साथ काफी क्लोज है, जैसे तिवारी हो गया, शुभंकर, तमलिका, अंकित जैन। सो इफ यू आर आस्क्ड टू गिव एनी टाइटल और एडजेक्टिव टू ईच ऑफ अस टीएनपीज, व्हाट विल यू गिव, बिगिनिंग विथ शुभंकर?
हैं, HAIN है।
उसका
हाँ
हाँ
हाँ.
और है दोनों में कंफ्यूजन आ जाता है पढ़ने में कि लिख क्या रहा है ये।
हैं।
नेक्स्ट, आदित्य तिवारी।
तो आदित्य तिवारी इज अ वेरी हार्ड वर्किंग मैन। तो ठीक है, मिस्टर हार्ड वर्किंग आई कैन से।
अच्छा, अंकित जैन।
अंकित जैन से बहुत ज्यादा बातें नहीं हुई मेरी,
वो
बट
फेमस इसलिए है कि जिसका प्लेसमेंट हुआ तुरंत उसका फोटोज कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशंस आ जाते हैं ग्रुप में।
हाँ, नंबर भी आ जाता है, इतना परसेंट हो गया।
हाँ, ये तो है। नेक्स्ट, नलिनी।
नहीं.
मिस दिल्ली।
मिस
ओ
नलिनी,
गॉड.
हाँ, नलिनी को हमारे सीसीडी में सब लोग इसको मिस करके ये करते थे ना, मतलब बोलते थे एवरी ईमेल पे हम लोग का आता था कि आदित्य कोऑर्डिनेट, प्रत्युषा कोऑर्डिनेट, आदित्य मणि तिवारी कोऑर्डिनेट, नलिनी का मिस
मिस
नलिनी।
दिल्ली।
अच्छा, शुभम शुभम भैया पूछ रहे हैं कि व्हाट इज योर बेस्ट पिकअप लाइन?
नो पिकअप लाइंस फॉर मी। मैं बहुत इंट्रोवर्ट हूँ, मैं बात करने से शर्माता हूँ।
बोलना, पिकअप लाइन मेरे लिए छोटा है, मैं पिकअप पैराग्राफ लिखूंगा।
यू
नो
कैन
कमेंट्स।
दिस, जो अभी थोड़ी देर पहले आदित्य बोला कि आई एम अ वेरी इंट्रोवर्ट गाय. आई थिंक द वन हु विल सी द इंटरव्यू फ्रॉम स्टार्टिंग टू एंड, एंड मैं और प्रत्युषा तो इस बात से टोटली डिसएग्री करेंगे कि ये इंट्रोवर्ट है.
मतलब जिनको जान जाता है फिर तो उसके साथ इतना कूल हो जाएगा, तुमको लगेगा नहीं कि ये इंट्रोवर्ट का आई भी जानता होगा।
एंड द
तो
बेस्ट थिंग अबाउट हिम, लाइक वी मोस्टली हम लोग लास्ट में थोड़ा शेयर करते हैं जो भी हमारे गेस्ट आते हैं उसके बारे में, अबाउट आर अमेजिंग एक्सपीरियंस. सो व्हाट आई सॉ इन हिम, मतलब आई यूज्ड टू नो हिम एज अ वेरी चीयरफुल गाय, अ वेरी फन लविंग गाय, एंड अ वेरी इंटेलेक्चुअल गाय सिमिलरली. बट जो बहुत लोगों को नहीं पता है, ही इज अ वेरी सपोर्टिव पर्सन, अ सपोर्टिव इन एवरी सेंस, like supportive in handling drive, supportive in your studies, supportive in answering papers. भाई अकेला बंदा मिलकर के पूरे सबका पेपर सॉल्व भी करता था. सो ही इज वेरी
अगेन
सपोर्टिव.
अगेन देख, क्वेश्चन पेपर, डेमो पेपर की बात हो रही है, ओरिजिनल ड्राइव्स की नहीं।
या मतलब like providing resources, providing good papers and everything. So he is a very supportive person, and he is a very back to go to person also. Like अगर तुम्हें कोई problem है तो वो भी मतलब not related to studies, he will help you out.
ये है, और ये वो नहीं दिखता जैसे आदित्य के फ्रेंड सर्कल के कुछ दोस्त ठीक है हमारे कॉमन फ्रेंड्स है, और उसके कुछ दोस्त मेरे दोस्त नहीं है, मेरे कुछ दोस्त उसके नहीं है, भले बनते भी नहीं है एक दूसरे के साथ, फिर भी वो ऐसा मतलब बिल्कुल बंदा नहीं है कि यार मेरे दोस्त इसकी दुश्मन है, नहीं करूंगा इसका हेल्प, कर लेगा। मतलब ऐसे काफी क्वेश्चंस आए हैं जिसमें मैंने इसके असाइनमेंट्स, टास्क वगैरह इससे हेल्प लिए, ये पता नहीं कहाँ कहाँ घूमता है, उस बीच में आंसर करके देता था।
I guess you were in section D, he was in section E. मेरे जस्ट बगल वाला क्लास में था ये, and section E. So yeah. So
अभी
और
तो
people,
शायद
ये
yeah.
सेक्शन के भी है शायद।
नहीं
हमारे
मेरा
टाइम तक,
सेक्शन, हाँ हाँ मेरा
हमारे
सेक्शन
टाइम
सी
पे
था.
आई या जे तक ही था, अभी तो के एल सब चल रहा है।
बहुत हो गया, हाँ, ये
और
तो है।
उसका क्लासेस अभी वो जेएनवी में होता है, जेएनवी है ना वो, क्या है, केवी में होता है
है
एक दो
वाह।
क्लासेस. हाँ
बाप
कुछ
रे।
क्लासेस उस टाइप भी होता था. पता नहीं, अभी तो
अब
फिलहाल क्लासेस घर पे हो रहा है, तो सब घर पे एंजॉय करो। गूगल मीट पे
बिल्कुल।
क्लासेस हो रहा है। तो
तो
चलो प्रत्युषा, इसी के साथ एंड करते हैं। इट वाज ग्रेट
आदित्य,
टॉकिंग टू यू।
या सो आदित्य, वी हैड नाइस कॉन्वर्सेशन, और हमारे स्टोरीज खत्म होंगे ही नहीं,
या
और
वी हैव
आगे
सो
भी।
मच टू टॉक, 2 साल की सारी बातें पेट में हैं,
दो
सो
साल
नीड अ
दो
गेट
साल
टुगेदर।
2 साल तो कॉलेज की, इवन ड्यूरिंग पैंडेमिक आल्सो वी वर वेरी मच एंगेज विद सर्टेन स्टोरीज,
हाँ,
सर्टेन
हमको तो
आइडियाज एंड
पहले ये
एवरीथिंग।
लग रहा था कि ये आईसी नहीं था यार, इसके साथ फिर कैसे हम लोगों का बनेगा, 1 साल का मतलब हुआ नहीं था नेक्स्ट।
मेरे को तो याद भी नहीं कि ये आईसी नहीं था। मैंने तो सोचा ये आईसी भी था, टीएमपी भी था, मेरे को याद ही नहीं है। बिकॉज ही हैज दिस नेचर, ही इज लाइक अ शुगर, ही डाइल्यूट्स वेरी वेल इन द ग्रुप। एंड इसका और
आदित्य,
तमन्ना
पैसे दिया
का।
था क्या नलिनी को तूने तारीफ के लिए?
हाँ,
मैं
इतने
तो
पैसे कमा रहेगा, मेरे को बांटेगा।
बहुत
लालच।
तारीफ हो रही है।
ठीक है, ठीक है, स्टाइपेंड आ
पता
रहा
चल
है
गया
5
ना।
तारीख को।
हाँ, पता चल गया ना, भैया के पास पैसे बहुत है।
अब तारीफ करके पैसे कमाओ। तो फिर हम अ, आज का एपिसोड यहीं पे खत्म करते हैं, फिर हम न्यू एपिसोड के साथ न्यू गेस्ट को लेके आएंगे। टिल देन स्टे ट्यून।
Thank you, Pratyusha. Thank you, Nalini, for having me. It was a very lovely experience, and thank you everyone for joining.
थैंक
Thank
यू
you very
थैंक
much.
गाइस।
यू।